the necessary part of most adventures, fueling up. As we grow old, waiting for the government safety-fied jerry can to empty. Man, I gotta find somewhere to sit here without getting a wet butt. There. Pays to be patient and take a minute to be comfortable. Nothing spoils an experience like discomfort. I find myself rushing with my own time. And it's odd because that time belongs to me, so why would I be careless with it? Do you ever feel like that? This is what's got me leading to the thought I'm having while we're back here about to harvest this tree. You start to rush. And I felt it just now. I'm back here, and filming these videos is an extracurricular activity for me. It's enjoyable. It's a hobby. You're supposed to enjoy it. And I feel that a tidal wave starts to build behind a guy. Now, this isn't just unique to filming video or work or any task. And I'm certain that some of you watching might be familiar with what I'm explaining. Everything feels a little bit too fast. I got to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and you just, this pressure builds behind you, and it reminds me of a person surfing. They paddle on their belly, and they got a big smile on their face, and then the waves grow ever slowly behind them, and then it gets to the point where you're like, oh crap, I'm going to have to stand up on this board. A little bit more pressure. They get up on the board. And then the wave really starts cooking. And, you know, and depending on what we're talking about, and then all of a sudden the white caps are rolling, and the next thing you know, you're upside down, and you're floating around, and one of the Baywatch girls is jogging down the beach trying to save your ass from drowning. I don't like that feeling. I'm getting a lot better at it, but I was like this right from the get-go, and, you know, my dad was always wise to point it out to me. You know, you got to slow down. You got to take a breath and assess what you're doing, and really rushing provides no benefit. But it still creeps up on me every once in a while, and it is such a funny thing to find yourself being neglectful of your own time. It's really a mind-boggling thing if you think about it. I mean, it's so precious and it belongs to you. Why wouldn't you manage it well? You know, as any resource you have at your disposal should be managed. I'm cutting up some scraggle trees here for firewood to get out of the way of this tree we're actually after. And I find myself taking strides that are just a little bit too long. Reaching for a block that's a little bit too far. Because I'm thinking about, I'm gonna move the camera, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I gotta do, why am I wearing a watch right now? You know? I got a pretty good sense of time. I have no obligations this afternoon. We get in this mode, and I mean, I don't care what you tell me. The fact that we're all carrying cell phones around, I couldn't even sit down because it was in my dang back pocket. You know, I use it for filming the videos and stuff, but you get my point. You get in a rush, that overstep, and it takes an activity that was supposed to be fun, or a job, say you're at work, it's well within your realm of capability. You know how to do it. You've done it 100 times. Put nut A on bolt B and put this part together, whatever you're doing. I know how to do it. but you start going too fast. And then all of a sudden, well, this hand's not working right. Why isn't this keeping up with this hand? And then this, and then, you know, in my case, oh man, I need a tool, but I need it from the truck. Okay, well, I gotta go from the job I'm working on, and then it's an interior job, so I gotta change my shoes now. Wow, my brain's thinking about that. And I get all the way out to the trailer. Okay, I got the part I need, I put it in my pocket, I got the tool I need, I get all the way back in, I get one shoe on, my inside shoe. Oh man, you forgot the third thing you needed, and back you go. It's not because you don't have enough time. You just start to trick yourself into upping into a pace that's uncomfortable. Now, we've all done and worked with people that have moved, like, you know, it's like watching a herd of turtles go by. You're like, come on, dude. But we all have a comfortable rhythm, I think. And it's not all the same pace. Some people are naturally faster than others. You have a comfortable rhythm at which you operate. But it's very easy to amp up the level of tenseness and push that level to where it's uncomfortable. But I think the key is, and what my dad was so wisely trying to point out to me, especially when we built my house together, you gotta slow down and take a little inventory. If you break it down into steps, you say, okay, maybe you're a 5-step kind of guy. I'm gonna do 5 things, and then I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna take a brief inventory, a mental snapshot of what I'm doing and what I'm gonna do next. And maybe for you that looks like a notebook you keep in your pocket so you don't forget things or whatever. But just to manage your own time as a more precious resource so you can enjoy more things. Things get done. That firewood that I just stacked, it's not gonna get stacked. Why are you trying to, oh, that log looks like it's 6 inches too far for me to step over it. Mom, try anyways, because I'm in a rush. Rushing. I don't know. That's an odd one. I never at the time took it into consideration as to what he was trying to explain to me with just stepping back and being a little more patient. Because, you know, at the time, when you're young, and I'm young now, but I was younger, you don't have the same perspective. That's, you know, these are how these Thoughts with Scott episodes work. I don't have something pre-drafted. I literally slipped and fell on trying to step over a tree. And I thought to myself, what the heck are you doing? Take your time. You miss things, you know? I'm busy rushing at a job or at a detail and something, even if I'm just doing it for fun, and you miss what's going on around you, or it leads to forgetfulness. We have, you've seen in videos, 2 goats. They're not far from the house. I feed them twice a day. It's a very simple task. I walk to the pen and I walk back from the pen, and there's only 2 things I got to remember for that trip. Take a bucket of water and take the trimming scraps, vegetable scraps from the kitchen with me. My wife even sets them out for me on the counter so I will see them visually. And I will 90% of the time, every week, every day of every week, 90% of the time, I will forget those items. I will make an extra trip back and forth because my brain is doing something else. I am not being respectful of my own time, or I'm not prioritizing things in that span of time correctly, you know? The distractions play into that. That's not just a time management thing. Sometimes it is, but, you know, you got message notifications going off, or you're thinking about, I'm already thinking about what I gotta do. Oh, I gotta get fuel. Man, I should have got fuel last night after work, but I really didn't feel like it, so I didn't. And now this is gonna happen, and whoop, up goes the tidal wave. You're that surfer on the surfboard, and the swell is building behind you, and it is about to launch you out into oblivion. And I think that's how people get stressed. I have conquered that. I know people bullshit and say that. I genuinely don't have a sense of stress, virtually ever. In the beginning, it had ill effect on me. My body does not take it well, so I just choose not to believe in it. And that might sound dumb, but I just choose not to accept that as part of my life. I don't have time for it, and I know that my body can't handle it, so I just delete stress, you know? What will happen is going to happen. You prepare the best you can, and that comes into slowing down, thinking what you're doing, and then the best possible outcome will come. And if it's already the best possible outcome, well, in your mind that should be, well, that is I have done the best I can do to get to where I'm trying to get to. And if it turns out it wasn't good enough, well, there's no reason to stress about it because you gave it 110%. As long as you took the time to be respectful of your time, slow and steady. And if it wasn't good enough, well, at least then that isn't stressful either. If you failed, you now know that you have a starting point to start from. That should be reassuring, you know? Oh man, I buggered something up. I gave it 110%. I was respectful of my time. I didn't try to step too far. I didn't try to move too quick. I took notes. I checked in with myself every 10 or 15 minutes to make sure I was doing what I thought should be going on. And it didn't quite work out. That shouldn't be a reason to be terribly upset. You might be, and I do momentarily, but you go, well, at least I know where I got to start tomorrow. Right where it stopped working is where I got to start tomorrow. So, you know, well-oiled machine. Pretty easy to say all this stuff when you're just sitting here talking to yourself. Anyways, let's cut this tree down. Is that what we're doing still? Yeah, let's cut this tree down.